Hi students, this is AJ sir. Let's study 10th standard ICSE math, chapter 6, exercises D and E, word problems of quadratic equations, miscellaneous. Exercise 6D, question 2. A stone is thrown vertically downwards and the formula is D is equal to 16t squared plus 4t. Gives the distance. D is distance and t is time. D is measured in meters and t is measured in seconds. How long does it take to fall 420 meters? This looks like a physics sum, but math is the language for physics because math is truth. Now in this equation, if we substitute the value of D as 420, we get a quadratic equation, solving which we get the value of time. And time can't be negative, so we get the answer as 5 seconds. Now the fourth sum. The ages of two sisters are 11 years and 14 years. In how many years' time in the future will the product of their ages be 304? So let the required number of years be x. That means after x number of years, the product of their ages will be 304. But what will be their ages after x number of years? It will be 11 plus x and 14 plus x respectively. That is their future ages. And the product of those ages is 304 as per the given condition. So we solve it and get the value of x. And we realize that the answer is 5 years. So 5 years from now, the product of their ages will be 304. Now the sixth sum. The age of a father is twice the square of the age of his son. 8 years hence, that means 8 years from now in the future, the age of the father will be 4 years more than 3 times the age of the son. Find their present ages. So we'll make a table for this. Let the son's age be x because that's a smaller age. And the father's age will be twice the square of the son's age. 8 years hence, so just add 8 to this as well as to this. So these are the ages after 8 years. And it is said that the father's age will be 4 more than thrice the son's age. So that's how you get this quadratic equation, and you solve it and you get the value of x, with the help of which you can find the present age of the son as well as of the father, but not of any Holy Spirit. In the 8th question, Mr. Mehra sends his servant to the market to buy oranges worth rupees 15. The servant, having eaten 3 oranges on the way, Mr. Mehra pays 25 paise per orange more than the market price. So Mr. Mehra had expected to get some number of oranges, hoping that the price is some particular amount. But when the servant returned, he said that he did not get the number of oranges as expected. He got 3 oranges less for the same 15 rupees, which means the servant lied that the price of the oranges had increased by 25 paise. But actually what had happened? There was no increase in price. The servant had eaten 3 oranges. But that's because Mr. Mehra hardly would give enough nutrition and rest to the servant. So the servant was famished. Hence he was forced to steal those 3 oranges. He was in fact planning to quit the job and join somewhere else. He had already interviewed with Bassanio. Now taking x to be the number of oranges which Mr. Mehra receives, form a quadratic equation. So again, we'll make a table. Let the actual number of oranges that the servant got be x, because that's what they have asked us to take in the question. And the expected number of oranges is x plus 3 because Mr. Mehra had expected 3 more oranges for 15 rupees. Now the total price is 15. So first fill in this blank. And now what is price per orange? Total price upon the number of oranges. Total price upon the number of oranges. So Mr. Mehra had expected that this would be the price per orange, but the servant lied and said no, the price has increased by 25 paise and this is the new price per orange. So clearly this is greater than this. Also we can see the denominator is smaller, so the fraction is greater. And what's the difference between the fake price and the actual but expected price? The difference is 25 paise. But we have to write it in terms of rupees because these values are in rupees. So that's how you get the quadratic equation. Now remove 15 common, cross multiply, this becomes 1 upon 4, get a quadratic equation and get the answer x is equal to 12. So actually he received 12 oranges. Now if I ask you how many oranges did he expect to get for 15 rupees? The answer is 15 oranges. That is 1 rupee per orange is what he thought was the cost. But the servant said, no, the price has increased to 1 rupees 25 paise. That is so expensive. Next question 10. So just like the 8th sum was IMP, mark the 10th and the 12th also as IMP. Now here an employer finds that if he increases the weekly wages of each worker by rupees 5 and employs 5 workers less, then he increases his weekly wage bill from 3,150 to 3,250 rupees. Let's make a table. Let the original weekly wages per week in rupees be X. And the total bill was 3,150. So the number of workers will always be total bill upon weekly wages per worker, which is 3150 upon X. Now he thinks, what if I increase the weekly wage by 5? But that would increase his total bill. And the new number of workers would be 3250 upon X plus 5. But now the number of workers will be 5 less than the original number of workers. And that's what he wanted. Even if his total bill is increasing, he doesn't want so many workers. He wants 5 workers less. He's willing to increase the wages of the remaining workers on the other hand. So this minus this is 5 as per the given condition. Now you'll solve this and you'll get a quadratic equation. First of all, you can see that everything can be divided by 5. So let's do that so that the calculation becomes easier. So dividing by 5, and then you can't take out 630 common because here it's 630, here it's 650. So you'll have to do LCM and then cross multiply, get the quadratic equation, splitting the middle term, and we get the answer as rupees 45. And now the 12th question. The total cost price of a certain number of identical articles is rupees 4,800. Total cost price, that is. And by selling the articles at rupees 100 each, that is the SP per article, not the total SP. A profit, that is a total profit, equal to cost price of 15 articles is made. Find the number of articles bought. This can't be done with the table method, so we'll have to write statements. First of all, they want us to find the number of articles, so let's assume that to be X. The total cost price was rupees 4,800, so divide that by X, you get CP per article. And what was the SP per article? It was 100. So what is the total SP? 100X is the total SP. What is the total profit? Well, it's mentioned that it's equal to CP of 15 articles. Now, this is the CP of one article. So the CP of 15 articles will be 15 into this, which gives us 70,000 upon X. But profit is equal to SP minus CP. Profit we found out in terms of X. SP we know in terms of X. And CP is given in the question. That's the total CP and SP. So CP is 4,800. So that's how you get a quadratic equation and you solve it to get the answer of the required number of articles. Next, in question 6e, lot of cancellations because they are of the same type and very easy. So cancel question 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And no IMPs in this exercise. Let's do question 6 first. A plane left 30 minutes later than the scheduled time, and in order to reach its destination in time, which is 1,500 kilometers away, it had to increase its speed by 250 kilometers per hour from its usual speed. Find its usual speed. So let the usual speed be x. So again, a table. Usual speed is x. So what is the actual or the new speed? X plus 250. Don't forget to write the units. Distance is same. The time required will always be distance upon speed, distance upon speed. Now, which time is greater? Think. Well, the usual time is greater because the denominator is smaller. And of course, the speed being more, it will take less time. Because it had less time, it left half an hour late, but it had to reach on time. So we would say that this minus this is half an hour. That's the equation. But half an hour will have to convert it into hours, minutes into hours. That's 1 upon 2. Take 1,500 out common, do the LCM, cross multiply, quadratic equation, and finally we get the answer. Usual speed is 750 kilometers per hour. Next, the 11th question. Work in time type of sum. Mohan takes 16 days less than Manoj to do a piece of work, and both of them can do the work in 15 days. So we'll assume Manoj doing one work in x days. So in one day Manoj can do 1 upon x work. Now Mohan takes 16 days less. So Mohan does one work in x minus 16 days. So he can do how much work in one day? 1 upon x minus 16. Now in the question they have asked us to find the number of days taken by Mohan to do the work. So it would have been smarter if I would have taken Mohan's one work day, days required for one work, as x, and Manoj's number of days to do one work as x plus 16. Then after solving I would have got the value of x, and that would have been the final answer. But here I'll have to find x first, and then I'll have to do x minus 16 to get the required answer for Mohan. But that's okay, answer will be the same. Now Manoj plus Mohan can do one work in 15 days as per the question. So in one day how much work can they do together? 1 upon 15. But according to our calculations, in one day they can do 1 upon x plus 1 upon x minus 16 work together. That means this is the 1 day work, and this is also the 1 day work of both of them together. That's how we get our quadratic equation, which we solve, and then we get the final answer of x. But don't stop there, because they want the days required by Mohan, which is 24 days. Next, the 13th sum. In a certain positive fraction, the denominator is greater than the numerator by 3. If 1 is subtracted from the numerator and the denominator both, the fraction reduces by 1 upon 14. So tell me, which fraction is greater, the original one or the new one? The original one is greater. So we'll make a table. This is the original numerator, and the denominator is 3 more than the numerator. So that's the original fraction which we have to find in the end. The new fraction, well, they said reduce the numerator by 1 and also reduce the denominator by 1. So that will become x plus 3 minus 1, which is x plus 2. So this is the new fraction. The original fraction is greater than the new fraction by 14. So the difference between them is 14. Cross multiply, get a quadratic equation, solve and get the value of x minus 9 and 4. But we'll have to reject the negative value because they mentioned positive fraction. So then we substitute and get the value of the original fraction as 4 upon 7. Hi students, if you found this video useful, press the like button. Also, to enroll for my online lectures or online test series, email me or message me on Instagram. Check the description for more information.